And welcome back to another episode of the Truth and Transparency Podcast with your host, Brother X, and
the cool, the phenomenal, the silly, the crazy, the sexy culture scientist.
why do you say like that? I do not approve this message.
What?
Huh? And here on the Truth and Transparency Podcast, we talk openly, honestly about why people can't get right in 2024.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. They'll never know about it because they'll never see the light of day. All right, and here on the Truth and Transparency Podcast, we're going to talk about a whole bunch of different things. We're going to act like we're going to talk about why people can't get right, and I can't do my intro correctly. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and introduce our host. First and foremost, you know him, you love him. He's wearing the black hoodie because he's about to go do some nefarious things with a ski mask. Mr. Smith, introduce yourself.
I don't have a ski mask because I don't need it. I'll just erase you from the fucking earth.
Wow.
So there's that. Anywho, it's your favorite Fed, Mr. Smith, also known as Soundbite Poppy, also known as Mr.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad.
And I want to thank the listeners for the comments, the places, subscriptions. Keep feeding us, we'll keep feeding y'all. Number one, shout out to Chaotic Culture Podcast for always showing us love and support. Number two, it sucks that I actually have to say this because I don't like talking about death like that, but rest in peace to one of our amazing, my little brother, but also Queen C and Brother X's Blue Lightning brother, Ade, who passed away a couple days ago. And he was definitely an infectious spirit. Like I remember he kind of came up under me pre-college of 2008 because that is when I was there for my summer internship program, and it was just like the man just soaked up all the material that I could give him. He was just a kind spirit, a good heart, definitely had a lot of energy, and he's, definitely hope that he's up there enjoying the time and repping Blue Lightning to the fullest because that was one hardcore dude. Number three. So within this whole wedding process, whatever, I've gotten back into watching a series, and I watched a series called Starting Five with LeBron James, Domantas Sabonis, Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum, and who am I missing? I'm missing somebody. There's somebody else that I can't remember the fifth person. It'll come to me. When I tell you that series is good, because it literally lets you know, like, yeah, these guys are multi-million-dollar athletes, but they're human. Oh, Jimmy Butler. That's the last one. They're multi-million-dollar athletes, but they're human. Like, they're dads and all of that. Like, Anthony Edwards actually welcomes a child during the series. Granted, to be fair, he technically had 3 other children. We're not going to go there. But, yeah, it's a really good series. I definitely would suggest folks watch it. Definitely kind of gives you a good perspective. And it's raw. Like, it's real and raw for real. Also, Anthony Edwards is a nigga. I'm just going to call it what it is. He is a bona fide nigga in that whole series. And finally, I need all the news media outlets and everybody in between to stop fucking saying that Black people are supporting Trump in grave numbers now, right? Like the support is starting to go up. This is exactly how the fuck this happened in 2016. The momentum went down. Everybody started talking about, it's literally the Eddie Murphy bit from Delirious all over again. I'm gonna vote for this guy because he's so funny. And then the next day he fucking won. Like, yeah, that's exactly how you guys trying to push it. We don't want him. We do not care. We've already gone through 4 years of this. And in 4 years of this man almost brought us to the brink of war, fucked up a pandemic, tried to make us drink bleach, and gave us one stimmy check that really didn't equate to anything that we paid back for in taxes. Learn your history, folks. If you get this man in office, he is literally going to turn it into a dictatorship. There will not be any more democracy. And the last thing I want to hear is motherfuckers saying, oh, man, we need to get this fixed, man. We need to figure this out, man. Like, man, we messed up. No, vote. Please vote. And I'm gonna be that person. I don't care what anybody say. This is me now. This is Mr. Smith talking. Vote for Kamala Harris. I don't give a fuck what you think. Vote for that woman, please and thank you. That is all.
I, the culture scientist, also support this message. Number one, I'm very so sick of these campaign commercials. Number one. Number two, if I see one more commercial complain about how Kamala has not helped the economic crisis and how we are worse in the economic crisis, however, when people forget that we actually are still recovering from all the things that happened from the previous president, just like when a president becomes president, they're still taking care of all the other issues that they cannot take care of when they were, the previous people. So that's my only real problem, because people, just pay attention. That's it. Stop saying it's her fault, but it's really not.
No, they remedial, but we not gonna go there right now. Let's go ahead and get into another host. Ain't got nothing this week. Queen C, introduce yourself.
I'll say it. What's up, listeners? It's your girl, Queen C, 61.5 inches of a little less fluff, but still a whole lot of fun. And let's talk about the original Annoying Orange, aka DJT, aka Mango Mussolini, who had a town hall in Oaks, Pennsylvania the other day. First off, they had no AC. People were passing out from heat, at least 2 people. After the second person passed out, he basically said, fuck it, and started playing his Spotify playlist and danced on stage with the governor of North Dakota for about 40 minutes. And this is who y'all want to elect? You sure? You sure about that? The man is 78 years old, and for all those people who called Joe Biden's mental health into account, please be transparent, be real, do the same for Trump,
please.
Because quiet as it's kept, both of those men are exhibiting early signs of onset dementia. But that's neither here nor there, because like my brother Mr. Smith said, we going to the polls, we voting for Kamala, and our newly adopted brother, Mr. Tim Walz.
No, yes.
Yeah, we gonna go ahead and vote for them. My last thing, also to piggyback off Mr. Smith, I do want to send my condolences to Ade's family, and may he rest well. He definitely was a very kind-hearted, very welcoming spirit. So world definitely has lost a beautiful spirit, but he's no longer suffering, and that's all we can ask for.
Yeah. Before we do that, and I do want to touch on that. Continue to rest in power, Ade. Just phenomenal person. Honestly, I know it's homecoming season at the time of we're recording this. I know we joke about the homecoming, oh, how you doing, and all that stuff, but really, if you see people you ain't seen in a while, love on them a little extra harder this year, because we've seen it too many times. You don't know when the next time you're gonna see that person. I remember there was a person we had just saw, I think I had just seen at homecoming, turn around like a week later, passed away. And it's crazy. It really is. So just love on your peoples a little bit harder, man. I forget another Hamptonian by the name of Whitney. She's out of Chicago. She had just announced some news on Facebook about becoming a news anchor there. I forget the exact details, but she had an incident where she's now currently in hospital. She had had a gunshot wound and whatnot, and just continue to support her. If I remember, I'll share the GoFundMe information in there as well. But yeah, just the world is crazy, man. Just continue to love on your peoples, and make sure you show them love when you see them, and let them know that you appreciate them. I would be remiss though. I want to make sure that we do have a guest in the house today. She heard about the topic and decided she wanted to pull up because she wanted to ask all the questions before they get married. You know her, you love her. It's Teacher Bae. Introduce yourself, Teacher Bae.
Hi, listeners. It's Teacher's Bae, Teacher
It's
Bae.
teachers.
But I know, right? See, it's been a minute. It's Teacher Bae. I've been busy in the books with children, and I just actually happen to have some free time tonight. So I said, what's Mr. Smith doing? And that's what happened. But yeah, I'm glad I'm able to join you guys tonight.
We appreciate you being on the pod, man. It's gonna make things a little bit later in this episode a little interesting. But before we go any further, we're gonna take some time to do a mental health check. We're gonna go in reverse this time. Teacher Bae, how are you doing mentally right now?
I'm okay. You're right. We need to love on a little bit extra on our close ones. We kind of had a couple of family members, especially on my side, that are in the hospital. Even right now, my auntie Zippy, she is in cardiac ICU at this moment. But we are sending prayers out to her. Hopefully she will be able to come out of this. She was actually rushed to the hospital for a pulmonary embolism. So that's, I'm like, oh Lord. So it's been a little tough today. And then my sister came out of surgery earlier this week, so she's doing okay. Hopefully she's gonna recover. It's just been a lot of that, so just kind of leaning on my faith here and trying to get through everything else that I have going on. But other than that, we're still over here wedding planning, and fitness journey is doing great. I lost so far at least 25 pounds. So I am been working really hard over here. I might be starving from time to time. 7 shrimp and 2 asparagus.
We done went to green beans. Don't even do that.
Oh, well, when I do have asparagus, it's only 2 spears.
Mm.
So, it's a little tough, but I look forward to those cheat meals, not cheat days. There we go. But that's it.
All right, next up we got Queen C. How you doing mentally?
Before I get to that, because Teacher Bae said something and I have to. 2 spears.
Huh.
All right.
Wow.
Corner.
I'm sorry.
Corner.
I'm sorry.
The baby corner.
Literally came to mind.
Wait. A baby corner? You mean a baby corner like what's, you know what? Let me go back to my Spades.
Well, we'll get back to that maybe later. All right, go ahead, Queen C.
Okay. Anyway, mentally, I am all over the place. Yeah. Tired of these people at my job. Family is all over the place. It's a lot of everything. Was able to check on my father. Actually, just spoke to him earlier today, making sure he got through all of the storms that are going on in the Caribbean right now since he's out in Puerto Rico. So he's good. Had to check on my brothers who are down in Georgia because they had experienced Hurricane Helene and they're okay. Now we got to make sure our family in Florida is good. And that's on both sides of my family. So yeah, that's been fun. Just making sure everybody has survived these crazy storms. But yeah, I'm so all over the place. I don't even know what to say at this point. Y'all pray for me.
That's real. Mr. Smith, how are you doing?
Is there a place where I could get into a car that resembles something from Twisted Metal and just run over any and everything that is in my path and not be taxed for it?
Yes. It's called Florida.
2 points.
Thank you.
I was not prepared for that, but you were absolutely right. So honestly, it's just been trying to keep my head above water, trying to do the right things. Work is finally starting to ease a little bit. And was able to, me and Teacher Bae were able to celebrate my niece or our niece's 3rd birthday this past weekend. It feels good that, you know, they have a great relationship with me to where, you know how kids will let you know if they fuck with you, whereas like you try to go for them, like, hey, give you a hug, like, they run away. It's to the point where the oldest will run away only because she's laughing about it, because she knows I'm going to get her. And then she'll joke about it, whatever. The middle one, who me and Teacher Bae have said is the boss baby. Well, the youngest one might take her place, though. I ain't gonna lie. But the middle one, if she don't mess with you, she ain't coming to you at all. And it's to the point where she'll walk up to me and put her hands up like, ah, and I'll pick her up and she'll be like, I want pizza. I'm like, well, you got to go to your dad. Huh?
She wants crab.
Oh, yeah. The first thing she said, I want crab, because she knows that I'm the one that usually cracks open the crab meat and gives it to her so she can eat it. And then she was like, I want pizza. I was like, well, we need to go talk to your mom and dad so that way we can see if the pizza's ready. No. I want you to go with me and ask. I'm like, oh, okay. This is it. I mean, all right. It's my brother. So, all right, cool. And my brother did the same thing. Go ask your mom. So it's whatever. And then the youngest one is adorable because she's still in that stage where she has the gummy smile with no teeth. And when she really likes you or whatever, I think she was on a little trampoline little thing because they were at a gymnastics building, whatever, where they can have all free play. And so she's bouncing on the thing. When she's done, she literally walks up to me, puts her hands out, and when I pick her up, all you just see is just gums, smile, and the eyes closed. I was like, I can't be mad. And she literally was chilling with me for what, 30 minutes? 35. I'm holding her. She got her finger in her mouth. She just chilling like I'm good. What's good? I'm in my happy place. I was like, all right, cool. So it's a good feeling for that. And yeah, outside of that, and staying away from white women. Although, yeah, because Teacher Bae got hands, and if y'all don't want to end up in the infirmary, you might want to stay away from me. That also goes for people whose faces like Grace Jones or Naked Mole Rat.
Wow.
That was an insider.
You mean Predator?
Wow.
I would say Chewbacca, but that's a little bit too rough. So we ain't gonna do that.
Wow.
To which I say, "Brrr."
Oh my God. We gonna move on. Co scientist, how are you doing mentally?
Well, I started the day off a little bumpy. And then it just kind of got okay. Mentally, I'm here. It's the best way I can describe it.
Okay. Yeah, so we both experienced the same thing this morning. We'll talk more about it off air. But yeah, just nothing crazy. But yeah, mentally I'm in an interesting space, man. It's been interesting with the news that we got about our day. Kind of made it really rough to start off the morning, and death is really just a weird thing for me now that I kind of have to figure out how do I not compartmentalize, but how do I kind of address it, and then a lot of just some difficult things, and sometimes mentally just like sometimes Mr. Smith does. I just gotta get to the gym and crank out some of the thoughts in my head, and I'm really trying to get back into that, fall back into love of working out and everything else like that. In addition to verbalizing things when I feel comfortable. So yeah, all in all, mentally, I'm doing all right. Just ebbs and flow. For the people who deal with seasonal depression, just keep yourself right, keep yourself regulated, feel your feels, but don't stay in them. All those things, all the adages and whatnot. But yeah. So without further ado, you know it, you love it. It's our next faux segment of the podcast. Please cue the music for the Big Bag News.
Big bag, big bag, big bag, big bag. Yeah, my bag
is loaded up with snacks and different foods.
All right. So in Big Bang News, we started this last week. We're talking about some different things. First and foremost, Coach Scientist, I need to know what your thoughts on this
No.
are. So, smash or pass,
Pass.
McDonald's finally brings the chicken Big Mac to U.S. menus.
No, thank you.
That's kind of, well, no, you don't really be eating the chicken from McDonald's. You be eating them burgers.
I prefer their Big Mac.
I mean, everything is the same. It's just the chicken.
It's not the same. It definitely don't taste the same.
So you've had the chicken Mac before?
No, but if you ask for the mac sauce and you get a chicken sandwich, you can put it on there and you can have a taste of what it might taste like.
Fair enough, fair enough. We're gonna open it up to everybody else. I know Mr. Smith and Teacher Bae really don't be eating fast food like that anymore. But what is y'all's thoughts on the chicken Mac?
Well, I would smash it. Okay. Because I love me some McChicken sandwiches. I love their chicken sandwiches. I love their chicken nuggets. I just like McDonald's. So that's something I would definitely eat. However, I don't need the extra piece of bread. I know that's the Big Mac part. But I would actually eat that. So yeah, maybe one of my cheat days. Yes, I would eat it.
Speaking of cheat days, sorry, slightly off topic. Have you tried the SpongeBob meal from Wendy's yet?
The other day, I did not. I got my spicy chicken nuggets.
Yeah, I just
As you
refuse to
should.
pay $10 for the entire meal. That's really my actual problem. When they have a $5 biggie bag.
That's what I got. That's what I was like, sorry, SpongeBob, next time.
I was just curious.
But Mr. Smith, I'm pretty confident you're not eating the chicken Mac.
Not if you were to send me to the 7th layer of hell. Am I eating that?
What if we paid off your wedding? Would you eat it?
Shit.
Down your throat.
Shit, look at my eyes, roll them. I eat that shit. Nah, all jokes aside, though, I don't fuck with the chicken ever since they changed the recipe from like, I want to say it's probably like 20 years ago. But for their crispy chicken, they changed the
You
recipe.
eat one of my chicken nuggets.
Chicken, the actual chicken, the crispy chicken, not the chicken nugget. No, the chicken nugget. I've been thinking. Okay, no, there's a difference. The chicken nugget is a whole different thing, a whole different breading than that.
It's the same chicken. It's just a different
We'll
shape.
have Teacher Bae come back on a future episode and report back on the differences between the chicken nugget versus the chicken sandwich.
I'm gonna just say
Well,
this.
needs its research.
I'm gonna say this. If that's the McChicken, no, because I don't really fuck with McChickens like that. And I've had them multiple times.
Mhm.
If that's the crispy chicken, no, because they changed their recipe.
Crispy chicken. That's real chicken.
Right. And so they changed their recipe from 20 years ago. I don't fuck with their crispy chicken no more. And their grilled chicken is absolutely not. So if I'm gonna get a Big Mac,
Mhm.
I'm gonna get a Big Mac. I ain't gonna get no goddamn chicken Mac because I don't want mac sauce on my chicken.
It's just mac sauce.
It's $1,000 dressing. But the point is, I don't want it on my chicken. I want it on a burger, and that's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
You're giving me bedroom eyes. We should probably
Wait, what?
put it back to
Giving
you.
you what? I'm sorry. Say that again. Giving you what eyes?
She said apparently I'm giving her bedroom
eyes
eyes.
when you said that's the only place you like that Big Mac sauce.
And y'all say
Wait,
my
wait.
mind's in the gutter.
Ma'am, this is a McDonald's.
We're gonna put a pin in that for later because I need answers.
I don't.
I'm gonna say I don't know.
Nigga, I'm sorry, fuck that. We taking the pin out. Nigga, what type of sauce y'all got going on? Nigga, of all the sauces, Thousand Island? Big Mac sauce?
That's exactly what it
Big
is.
Papa?
It's Thousand dressing. We all know it. It's been known for years. And coming from somebody that worked at McDonald's, I know it's $1,000 dressing.
No, I'm not saying that. You talking about bedroom eyes and Big Mac sauce. We need answers for that.
You
Oh.
need answers for that.
Oh,
It's
that's
fight against humanity.
Oh, that's easy. Every once in a while, we want to spice it up. I get a Big Mac sauce gun from McDonald's, and I just go click, 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 and then it's game time.
It's better than baby oil.
Hey, yo.
Wow.
5 points. Good job, babe. Good job.
I didn't need the answer.
All right. We're gonna get Queen C's thoughts, and then we're gonna move on.
Wow. Smash or pass. If you take the pickles off, smash. I am the opposite of culture scientists. I don't actually fuck with McDonald's burgers. I like the McChicken. I like the chicken nuggets. So I would try it.
I only like their chicken nuggets. Like really, only.
I mean,
Yeah.
their chicken nuggets are top tier.
Yes.
Are they though?
Yes.
Are they though? They may be top 10. They ain't top 5. They are adequate. They're like the basic. They are like the Lay's chips of the big bag of chips. Like, I mean, I'll eat
First
them.
off, don't
What?
disrespect Lay's like that.
Oh damn!
Classic
I was like, you
Lay's.
want to go the other way.
Classic Lay's. Come on.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next thing. Where are we at? So, listeners, we got a lot of things that we have in Big Bag News. But shout out to the big homie, friend of the podcast, Jay Uso from WWE Wrestling. Also, side note, check out the Mr. McMahon documentary on Netflix. That shit is wild. But one of the wrestlers currently in the WWE goes by the name of Jay Uso, formerly of the Uso brothers that were the tag team. He was interviewed about his particular order at a certain establishment. Let's listen to the tape.
Ask, what's your order at Waffle House?
For real?
Yeah, I used to know.
Man, all right. Triple hash browns. Ooh. Scattered and covered. You got to know the language. If you don't, I mean, it's like going to Starbucks. You know what I'm saying? You can't say large.
Little add-ons.
You know what I'm saying? We don't know.
Yeah.
6 scrambled eggs with cheese. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
2 waffles with chocolate chip cookies.
Yeet.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hold up, I ain't done.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Lemonade, the 2 lemonades there. You know what I'm saying? I don't drink nothing else but lemonade at Waffle House. I might need like 3 or 4 of those, and then maybe a coffee at the end.
You full after?
Nah, that's just
okay.
I ain't even give my kids an order yet.
Oh, geez. Okay, we might be here all
Is
day.
that a lot?
That's a lot.
Man, what's your order?
I get 2 bowls, a hash brown, sausage, egg. Just got last night. It was good. It was real good. It was real good.
That's too much. It's unhealthy.
What? This guy. All right, moving on.
So
Did he just say that was too much and unhealthy?
yes. Let me listen. If you don't know, Jay Uso is of the Samoans. These men eat small towns and villages for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I have never seen them and Godzilla in the same city at the same time. Do what you want with that. Yes, Quincy?
Well, unlike DJ Khaled, they might also eat the cat.
Wow. Hey, that beard flourishing though. Oh yeah, his brother got himself some honey.
Got some Big Mac sauce on it.
Oh yeah. Hey, wow. This is what we're doing today. This is what we're doing. All right. I will never look at Mac sauce the same. I'm disgusted. Mrs. Smith, yes.
I just want to make sure I call this out because we were on mute. But Teacher Bae go listen to Queen C's thing, and at the end of it say Max, oh that's good. She said, yeet. I said, oh no, we done. We're done.
Wow.
We're done. No, we're done. We're done here.
Oh man. But yeah, no. I mean, that is not. I will honestly say that's not the craziest order I've heard at Waffle House. I'm not gonna lie. That's not the craziest. It's a lot. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But it is quite big back. But I mean, the way that they be eating and working out, I don't blame them. Now he probably did this when he was high.
I wouldn't make it past the first 10 bites of the hash browns.
Nigga said 3 orders of hash browns.
And he said smothered.
Did he say smothered and chopped?
Yes.
Whew, boy. So you got that. Then you talking about how many waffles again? Like 2 waffles?
2 with chocolate chips.
Dog. I know his bathroom hate to see him coming. I know it.
I'm gonna say this though. Queen C called it out. This nigga legitimately did 2 all-star specials with an extra order of hash browns and some scrambled eggs with cheese.
I'm not lying.
I will say though.
You split the difference on the protein. Get one with sausage, get one with bacon.
That's fair. That
I,
can
I,
work.
I will say though, Waffle House lemonade for some reason cracks a little bit more than normal regular lemonade. I don't know what the fuck they do to it, but in there, Lord, Jesus. And then to have the coffee at the end is like, oh, so you just want to make sure you stay up to drive home is what you're doing. Okay.
No. That's so he can be regular because he know he ain't gonna be able to shit.
Get out of my head. 'Cause I was thinking that actually.
Like that nigga is drinking coffee, so he know he gonna shit when he get home.
I was like, he's making sure
Correct.
he clear.
All that starch and all that cheese. Yeah, no. He
Gonna be
gonna
clogged
shit.
up. Now I do have a
Gonna eat on the
question.
toilet is what he gonna do. Yes, Queen C.
Since we're talking about lemonade, Waffle House lemonade or Chick-fil-A lemonade?
Chick-fil-A lemonade. Don't even do this.
You already know he
I'm about to say,
considers-
Mr. Smith,
you
you
already
bet
know he considers Chick-fil-A
I will cut this whole show off. Don't you dare.
It's closer than you think. I still say Chick-fil-A, but I'm gonna say this. Usually, when you go to Waffle House, I'd say 8 times out of 10, it's after an intoxicated night. Therefore, everything tastes a lot better because it's like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. And that lemonade slaps hard. However, Waffle House has more times of downtimes of those lemonades than Chick-fil-A has. So that's a determinant factor, but it's closer than you think. I'm thinking like Chick-fil-A in 6 games. That's all I'm saying. It's not a sweep. Waffle House will get a game or 2, but that's about it.
Sweet.
Okay, I was about to say, because as much Chick-fil-A lemonade I have seen you drink in my time of knowing you as a person, Mr. Smith.
And as much Waffle House lemonade as you've seen me drink in your entire time of knowing me as a person.
Before we were rocking with Waffle House during our college days, as much, you was on that lemonade hard body.
That's only because it was in the student center.
On chicken tenders and fries. But we don't talk about that time.
Yes, because there was a Chick-fil-A in the damn student center. That's the only thing I could drink. Because unfortunately, I was too poor to be able to do Planet Smoothie. So had to do what I had to do.
Oh, yeah. I knew you had money when you got that Captain Kidd.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I knew you had money.
Get you a cheesesteak from Pirate Grill and Planet Smoothie, Captain Kidd, nigga.
Oh yeah, nah. You done called your parents up to put a little extra $20 in your account.
But don't forget, with that combo, you got to get the waffle fries from Chick-fil-A. You got to do full Big Backness.
Yes, nigga thought they was eating good. All right, but speaking of Waffle House, apparently in Culture Science's neck of the woods, in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, in a bold move that is sure to change the face of shopping forever, the Walmart in Chapel Hill has announced it will be building a fully operational Waffle House smack dab in the middle of the store. Yes, Culture Scientists.
Which Walmart in Chapel Hill?
I'm not sure. Maybe we can find out the address. Now, customers can pause from their quest for a bargain price bulk toilet paper and indulge in a 24-hour breakfast experience. Yes, Culture Scientists.
Out of all places to put that Waffle House, why they choose Chapel Hill?
Because you know if it's in Durham, that shit gonna get shot
You
up.
know which Durham, you know which one they should have put it at? The one off of Hope Valley?
No, they.
I mean, Hope, yes.
Why?
Because that's the one where all the black people go. It's the hood one.
Nigga, ain't shit gonna get done.
That's what Waffle House is for.
But we in Walmart.
We haven't even eaten at the Waffle House that is located in Chapel Hill for that reason, because it's too clean.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong.
So I can only imagine their Walmart is still clean.
Yeah, no, yeah, they don't allow. I know it ain't gonna slap because you know you got somebody named Chet behind the grill. Not Maurice with 2 Waffle House sleeves on, scrambling the eggs with his hand. But I digress. Yeah, so guest and host, y'all have any thoughts about this? I cannot see anything wrong ever going wrong with this. Mr. Smith.
So I'm gonna go ahead and bust the bubble early that this was I'm gonna say AI generated because the first, and again, listeners, use this as a lesson. When you see stuff like this, read all the way down, read the comments from the people that live there. Because the first thing people said was, nigga, ain't no Walmart really in Chapel like that. So where they gonna put this thing at? Which is hilarious. But secondly, even if that was the case, 1, that's too clean. Start there. 2, I think of those type of places like in Quincy, and actually Quincy, Teacher Bae, and Brother X will know about this. There were 2 Walmarts when we were at Hampton. the one on Jefferson, and Black Walmart. And you know what Black Walmart is. That's where this would be at. You can't put that anywhere where it's not a 24-hour Walmart. And there's not a lot of them that still exist these days. So it's like, you sure you want to do that? Because then you got to keep it open. And then who's to say somebody, let's say you put it somewhere where a Walmart is not open 24 hours. Who's to stop a nigga from stealing in that bitch and walking out?
Dog, I just can imagine the Black Walmart, as many dummy missions we did at late at night. Niggas would never make it to class on time.
And for that matter, I'm sorry. That's just a funny thing that I always think about. Nigga, do not go on the 1st or the 15th because you will see some shit. Black Walmart.
Yeah, no.
You literally got all the military people and SNAP benefits came out. If you want entertainment, go on the 1st or the 15th. You ain't doing no shopping. You just people watching.
Like nigga got an in-store fight. Terrible. Quincy, go ahead.
To Mr. Smith's point of this being AI generated, let me tell you something. I already knew it was AI generated when I looked through the glass of this Waffle House inside this Walmart and saw a white man on the grill.
Yeah.
We got white people that work there. It's just,
They work the register. They work as servers.
They have worked the grill.
How often do you eat there, though?
Not that often.
Exactly.
There's a girl at the one down the street. When I say they're white, they're not.
Let me ask you, how many tattoos she got?
That's my point.
Okay. I'm trying to help you get to the point.
You're not helping me get my tissue.
But why are you saying that on the pod, though? Oh my gosh. Don't say it like that. What's wrong with you? I love you too. All right. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, I had more, but y'all went off on a tangent. My other thing to say is, if this does actually happen, this is literally World Star's wet dream. You're gonna have fights in the Walmart, in the Waffle House, in the Waffle House, in the Walmart, and then in the parking lot. This is World Star's wet dream. We about to have Friday night Waffle House fights.
Oh, it would do numbers. Back in the heyday of World Star, yeah. Terrible. My question is, though, who winning the fight? The people who work at the Waffle House or people working at the Walmart?
Waffle House.
Waffle House, not even close.
I don't know. There's some people in Walmart that be having hands.
No, just get the chick that caught the chair.
Exactly. I was going to say that. And the fact that you have people that legitimately see Walmart people, they only fight when they have to because they're just irritated. Waffle House people fight just because it's a fucking Tuesday. So it's like, as soon as you say something, you know what? I don't need this job anyway. The minute you see the smart go down, run, because it's going to get bad.
Not just that. Ask the people who tried to rob Waffle Houses. Waffle House employees have their own guns.
Call it a different all-star special. Teacher Bae, did you have any thoughts?
I just knew that Tarjay would never go for this. And I prefer to go to Waffle House outside of Walmart. That's all. But I'm here for the drama though. That would make a great reality TV show. Like, the life of a Waffle House worker inside of a Walmart.
Nigga, I just know stress, backwoods, Black and Mild, Swisher Sweets. Nigga, my stress level will be through the roof watching that shit. With all that out the way, because good Lord, that's a lot. We conclude Big Bag News. Mr. Smith, you know what time it is? Play the copyrighted music.
All right, let's see if we can get to this quickly. WNBA, the finals are set between the New York Liberty and the Minnesota Lynx, which is cool as shit because I ain't seen the Minnesota Lynx in the WNBA finals since Maya Moore, and that's been a minute. She has been retired for a good minute. So right now the series is tied 1-1 with Game 3 happening. Well, game 3 will have already happened by the time you heard this recording. Me personally, I'm probably gonna go for the New York Liberty because I would like to see Stewie and Sabrina Ionescu actually get a ring. Especially if the Las Vegas Aces are out. It's like, hey, I'll go Stewie and I'll go Sabrina. But from there, we can go to the NFL and yeah, Ravens and Commanders happened this past weekend, and I can't tell you how many people were talking big cash shit about my Ravens leading up to the game, including a trainer that me and Teacher Bae both have that was ready to be like, you ready to get this? You ready to get this work on Sunday? I'm like, all right. Yeah, remember, you're new to this. We're used to this. Are you sure you want to go with this? And what happened? Derrick Henry, Derrick Henry, Derrick Henry. Along with Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews. It was actually a sight to behold. Now, don't get me wrong, Commanders fans. I am so happy you have finally found your QB1. And that is your franchise quarterback for years to come. Sucks that another franchise couldn't do that properly, but we're not going to go there because the person has retracted his fandomship from that team. But anywho, you know,
you was a nigga. I ain't had nothing to do. You know what? Carry on.
As many strays that I caught from you in previous episodes, you deserve that one.
They were all unjustified, but that's beside the point.
Anywho, so yeah, you know, Ravens are now 3-2. We are, we're 4-2. I'm sorry, and we are still atop of our division next to the Steelers. We own the tiebreaker because we actually beat the Bengals and have a win in our division. I'm gonna just say this now. I'm not gonna hop on the train of this is our year, but if there was a time for all the pieces to start clicking and not have any injuries, this would be that time. The only thing that I need, secondary for the Ravens, I need y'all to stop getting cooked. Because y'all had some good plays, but them corners, bro, they a little iffy, right? And also linebackers, like Roquan is great on the run, but if you catch him in the middle of the field, it's like the quarterback just knows just to toss the ball just enough so the boy can't reach it. But overall, we're looking good. Breaking news today, Devontae Adams got traded to the Jets, which, shocker, I'm not shocked. Matter of fact, when they said he requested trade, me and Teacher Bae looked at each other and said, so he's going to the Jets. We already know he's going to the Jets. Why? Because Aaron Rodgers is on the Jets. Now, yes, would it have been nice for him to be on the Ravens or whatever other team that they were thinking of? Of course. But, nigga, please, we knew he was going to the damn Jets. So he went there. Great. Especially after what we saw Monday night's game where I think it was Mike Williams. I can't remember the wide receiver, but homeboy overran his route, tried to come back, slid, and costed them a costly interception when they're trying to make a comeback. I was like, as soon as they said Devontae Adams was traded, I was like, oh yeah, that's from the game last night. Aaron Rodgers pulled a LeBron, was like, yeah, get this nigga out immediately. I saw Amari Cooper going to the Bills. I did not see that coming, to be honest with you. I did not see that coming, but I mean, I'm actually kind of happy that he is now off the dumpster fire that is Cleveland because, yeah, Cleveland Browns fans, how you feeling about Deshaun Watson, and them 235 M's? Because the nigga's been dumpster booty. And outside of that, we're going to finish off with the NBA, and preseason is going on. The season's going to start. I'm actually looking forward to watching a couple of Lakers games because I've watched some of their practices. I have not seen ball movement from them in a long time. Now, I'm gonna say this now. I am not gonna hop on the bandwagon to say JJ Redick is gonna be the best coach ever. But I will say he's gonna be better than Darvin Ham. And outside of that, honestly, I'm just enjoying the fact that there's college football. I don't remember which team it was, but when you get blown out by 40, why? Just why? What is the point? What is the point? What is the point? What are we doing this for? I know corners are the hardest job on a football field, but yeah, you might want to get back in the gym on that. But outside of that, I will leave all sports fans and sports athletes with this. There was a Instagram reel or a quote that I saw recently that really made sense. You can apply this to everyday life. Are you hungry or do you just want something to eat? Because if you're hungry, you're going to make the shit happen no matter what. If you just want something to eat, you got food in the house. You're just, I'm going to, wait for somebody to cook it. To translate that for those that may not catch the reference, in your job, are you the best person that can do everything and has the potential to be promoted every single time? Are you just the person that's just getting by because, whatever? Are you the person that is willing to go to practice for athletes at 6 o'clock in the morning and put up 1,000 shots? Are you just the person that might be naturally gifted and just, I'm gonna show up to practice, 10 minutes before practice starts and I'm gonna just do what it do? I say that to you, Gen Zers, and I'm gonna call y'all out because I'm a millennial and we've heard this conversation multiple times. Stop being lazy. Do the work. I mean that sincerely. Do the work. Because if I have to train one more person and they act like they don't know shit from a can of paint, and you went to college and you got a degree and you don't know half the shit and you don't know how to research it, we're gonna have some problems. That also goes for those in college because trust and believe, Teacher Bae gave me some stories where I'm like, and they made it to college? But on that note, if you have any other questions, comments, or want to learn more about the NFL, and especially with the craziness that's going on with trades, hit up my boy Red Wolf on his YouTube and his Instagram. His links will be in the description below.
Play the other music. All right, with that out the way, we're going to go ahead and hop into one of our main segments of the podcast, which is Now Mind You. Now Mind You is the part of the podcast where we talk about internet stories that we find interesting, and we use the Black vernacular to say, now mind you, to tell you the key or vital parts of said story. Now, first and foremost, in the Black community, there is this card game called Spades. Most people know of it. Some know how to play it. Some are afraid to play it, and some don't like to play it. But we heard a very interesting story. Shout out to her Instagram name is Agram of Saya. I apologize if I mispronounced that. But she had a very interesting story she shared at one of her comedy sets. Mrs. Smith, play the clip.
They taught my white boyfriend how to play spades. But they said he was playing for fun. That's what black people love saying. No real stakes, because them spades tables might turn into a shootout. I saw my mama bent over and got the belt by my grandma at the spades table. Her ass is 49. The you still getting a switch for? So he was partners with my grandma, right? And my cousins was tag teaming their asses, right? Until he goes, I got it. Throws down a 7 of spade and cut my cousin's 3 books in. I have never seen a group of black people sit up so fast. Because in one move, he was whipping their ass. So I'm like, you know what? It don't matter. That's fine. He got himself. I'll walk outside to go talk to my other cousin. I come back in 30 minutes later. Why does he wearing a wife beater? Nike slides, a do-rag, with a swish of sweet. I said, who the f*** are you? I said, what have you done to my white man?
Which, before we move forward, made me think about another interesting thing. Dog, have you ever just witnessed anybody learning how to play spades? And I promise you, there is an amount of trauma that the person who is teaching the person how to play spades goes through. Like, it is hard to explain it. But shout out to Whitney Bae on Instagram for sharing this safe space where Shade Bada Shade. I apologize if I'm butchering the names. I'm real Ron Burgundy today. But I have decided to create a safe space for black people to learn how to play spades. Mrs. Smith, play the clip.
The This is unbelievable.
Now, what's the name of this game? The whole deck will be distributed amongst the 4 people. The person to the left of the dealer, and they can play any card they want. This high card wins. So everybody's gonna play their card.
Look at Blue's face.
Okay. This is called a book. Your team wants to win all the books. If you win all the books, do you know what that's called? It's called a Boston. Boston Tea Party.
Get out of my camera.
Play the highest card that you can play. But there's only one rule. In Spades.
Say Spades.
Say it with me. Follow suit. Follow suit. One more time. Follow suit. Follow suit. All right. I'm going to try to win on this Jack of Diamonds. Okay? What's the rule?
Follow the suit.
That means teacher got Spades. And it's a little tip. Hold on, Rick. I got you. Black. I put clubs, black, red. That way I don't get confused. But what happens if I don't have a diamond?
Oh,
you can play any suit that you want.
Listeners, if you can't tell, there's a young gentleman during the video who is both giving the side eye, raising hand, wanting to ask a question. And then at one point, you have somebody who knew how to play spades, coming to find out, see, if there's a group of black people not knowing how to play spades, and was going to do what is the most typical response is that, nigga, what you mean you don't know how to play spades? Everybody ushers him off saying, this is a safe space. Now, mind you, I will be the person saying, what y'all mean y'all don't know how to play spades? But that's just me.
I personally think that this is a brilliant idea and that Black people are consistently traumatized because other Black people don't want to teach them how to play spades. Now, shut up real quick. I know how to play spades, but I refuse to play actual spades because I do not want to be yelled at nor tortured because I'm not that good at it, because I have not had the opportunity to play it enough, which is then why Black people don't know how to play it after a couple years. Just want to point that out. So yes, I probably would have been the bodyguard telling him, this is a safe space, move the fuck away.
So that's colorful words, man. Now, we all have been to HBCU at one point or another, and we all understand that learning how to play spades becomes, I won't even say beneficial, but it can be an enjoyable experience if you learn how to play the right way and you have the right teammates. Shout out to Queen C, shout out to Mrs. Smith. But yeah, it's real interesting with spades, man, because no matter what happens, almost every few years or almost every few months, there's always this random post on social media of this is how you play spades. Now, mind you, I think that the way that the gentleman is explaining it in the video is a better way because he sounded like he done taught a classroom before. Because the way he made him do a call and repeat, yeah, he had to have been a teacher at some point or another.
That's how you remember shit.
No, it is a very classic teaching technique that I even use with my students. But do y'all have any thoughts about this? Well, first about the first story and then about this. Mr. Smith.
So for the first story, I know it's a joke, but I could imagine a white guy getting it and being like, now give me them slides, nigga. Now, of course, he wouldn't say that because then he would get beat to within an inch of his life. But you get my gist. As far as a safe space for Black people to learn how to play spades, it was just funny hearing him say, this is called it's almost like Dora the Explorer. Can you help me find my Boston? How about time help? I'm the map. Where are we going? We're going for 6 of the possible. Like, nigga, what? But I mean, honestly, this is me being real. I'm glad that they made the safe space because that is the game that we need to keep within our recipes because a lot of people have the same fear, which is, I know how to play it. I am just scared about the trauma that might come from the game, which I know for me, for Brother X, for Queen C, for our homegirl Janelle and others, that's the fun of it. Like, I think I was talking to Teacher Bae the other night and I was like, me, Brother X, Queen C, and Janelle are all 4 assholes where we don't even gotta say nothing. Our assholishness showed in the play, and we didn't have to say much, and because we all knew. But at the same time, there is one time that happened, and Brother X knows exactly where I'm going with this. We were at a cookout, and we got on the table, and I forgot what group we were going against, but homegirl threw down the deuce of diamonds, which is a spade technically in our game. We played Joker, Joker, Deuce, Deuce, and Brother X literally went to the guy and said, "You're about to be pissed off in about 3 hands." Literally by the third book, he said, "Renege." And she said, "No, that's a diamond." We said, "No, that's a spade." And when I tell you, homeboy got so mad at that table, then the next group went down, first hand bitches sell. We pulled a 10 hand on the first hand. We got up off that table so fast. Like, yep, we're done. We're done.
Listeners, I need you to understand. I tell people this all the time. There are 2 types of games I am great at: card games and pool. And I'm an asshole at both of them.
Yes, he is.
And please, if you know that I'm start talking shit at a game, just know I'm either have nothing in my hand or I'm fucking with your head. Because it is a bad time for everybody. Because if I start talking shit, there's nothing you can do, because what's going to happen? If I lose, okay, I'm talking shit. If I'm winning, I'm gloating and I'm talking shit. And that is
my
why
favorite thing is when you put the card on the forehead.
Oh yeah, no, that is peak. That's when I know I'm either winning or I've already got your ass. Because the funniest thing I'll turn it over to the rest of you guys. One of the funniest plays that ever happened was it was Queen C's graduation. She know where I'm going. She was playing. No, Queen C wasn't playing. I think it was Queen C.
It was my mama and my auntie.
They were
and
playing
you could
together.
tell my mama is a real Spades player because she was pissed.
So needless to say, me and Mrs. Smith were playing, and we are straight up bullshitting. Like, we know we gonna win this game. Like, we knew this like 3 hands ago. So we started bullshitting. And then you could hear Queen C's mother start saying, "I can only play," slaps card on the table. "What's?" Slap on the table. "In," slaps on the table. "My," slaps on the table. "Hand." That's when I was like, yeah, I'm under their skin, because boy, you would think that I hate everybody the way I play Spades sometimes. Mr. Smith will tell you, because he would just be laughing. I'm like, I know I'm an asshole. This is one of the few times to let it out. But yeah, I'll turn it over to everybody else. Anybody else got thoughts about Spades?
I disagree with culture scientists that I need a safe space, because some of these family members, they go hard in the paint. But yeah, I don't want to say I'm still learning, but I don't feel like a pro like I should be. Like, I grew up doing dominoes, then later learning how to play spades. But yeah, I appreciate that.
I feel like dominoes will be worse though, because the minute you slam them things on the table, I'm fighting.
You know I'm saying. That's the whole point of the game.
That's the same thing with Spades. I'm saying.
I have made people flip tables over dominoes. Like, I'm an asshole when I play all games. I'm sorry. Like, I'm competitive.
Yeah, I'm about to say, the most competitive I feel like I've seen you be has been in Kings, but we won't get into that yet.
Yeah. So anyway, my thoughts on Spades, because that's what we're talking about right now, Brother X.
I don't know what you're talking about. What happened?
Yeah, my safe space was learning as a child from my grandma. So our family would be over, and my grandma, I was like 3 or 4, my grandma would sit me in her lap and show me which card she wanted me to place on the table for her. And my mom and I learned from the same person. We learned from my grandma. So by the time I was 6, I was in the Spades game, running books. I'm sorry for those who learn later in life, because it is harder. Y'all got to teach these babies early.
I do agree with that. That's why I said y'all older generations make it more not fun for other people.
But honestly, fun. Sometimes it's fun. When I used to play with like older relatives, and I used to bust their ass in those games, that'd be the best feeling, because they feel like you don't know what you're doing. I'm like, sir, I promise you, if I wanted to, I could be real disrespectful. I will cut all 4 suits and literally not be called on the renege. Mr. Smith.
Last thing for me and Teacher Bae just talked about it at her family reunion in Georgia. I ended up getting on the spades table with her cousin and 2 uncles. And one of them uncles, I'm a seasoned spades player. So you can't tell me. I learned from history. Me and Brother X went up one time in one game, and we regretted it ever since. Since then, I play exactly how Queen C's mama plays. I can only play what's in my hand. So if I got 4, I got 4. I don't got 4. I don't got 5. I don't got 6. If I got a possible, it depends. But this man was like, nah, you got 7. I'm like, nigga, we got 6. And I know we got 6 because I can look at my partner and I can tell he only has 2. And what happened? We went 6. We got 6. And he was like, I'll try to get you to go up 1. I said, I know. I ain't no novice to this. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I've been playing for a while. So you can't get it. He's like, I can tell. You definitely seasoned this sport. I'm like, trust me. I didn't did the reneges in high school. I did overbids, underbids, all of that. So yeah, nah.
But I want to make something also very clear. People that say, I play Uno instead because Uno is not as stressful.
No,
it's just as stressful.
Uno is just as stressful.
I'm also an asshole at Uno.
Oh, yeah, no.
Kids included. You gonna get beat.
Oh,
you gonna get this draw 4.
No, you gonna get this draw 12.
No, the draw 16. You know what I'm talking about, Brother X.
Oh, yeah, no. We're talking about No Mercy? Oh, yeah, no, dog. It'd be wild time. I had never played a game of Uno until I played it the other night with some friends where it was like, if you have 25 cards or more, because we're playing Uno No Mercy, you are literally kicked out of the game. Like, you're not even allowed to play your way back in. You are kicked out of the game until the next round. Mrs. Smith.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I look at Uno the same way I look at basketball playing 21. The minute that you say Uno is the minute that you got 20 and you're going for game point. At this point, nigga, it's been nice knowing you, but we're going to make sure we're going to make your life a living hell to get this last point. In this case, for Uno, it's everybody look at each other like, you got to draw 4, right? Bet. Back up, back up, back up, back up. Ain't there's nothing you can do.
Boy.
There's nothing you can do.
We literally did that in Harkness Lobby
Oh, yeah.
on a game. I can't remember who started it, but somebody placed a draw 4. And they was like, nigga, nah. They placed a draw 4. Person beside me was like, hell nah. They placed a draw 4. Everybody looking at me. I had the last one. Bow. 16. Nigga beside me flipped the table.
Good times. Good times. Just couldn't be me, though. All right. So you know what else couldn't be somebody? The young lady by the name of Kayla. Am I saying it right? Kayla Nicole? Kayla Nicole, formerly I won't reduce her to that, but she used to date NFL player Travis Kelce. She has been in the social media streets recently about her interview with Angel Reese on Angel Reese's podcast. I forget the name of the podcast.
What is her name?
Is it just the name?
I thought so.
Oh, okay. But basically, she was sharing this one particular petty story, which honestly, now that I've heard it, you couldn't pay me to say it because there's levels to this, and you could have kept your story to yourself.
She should have took this to her grave. Woo! People react to Kayla Nicole saying she dressed up as a woman. A man she dated left her to be with. Basically, that's what I read.
Oh no, I was looking at you.
You looked at me like it was crazy.
That's
essentially
not good. But
from the Shade Room, this was a post, and it basically says that the internet is on one. Kayla Nicole and Tiana Taylor are trending after Kayla appeared in an Angela Reese podcast. Kayla told Chi-Town's Barbie about a man she was dating who ended things with her for another woman. We weren't in a relationship, but ... I was dating a guy, the model said. I just like reading that part because she's so stupid.
All right, Mrs. Smith, play a clip.
Craziest thing you've done in a relationship? This is one of my, we weren't in the relationship, but this is probably one of my favorite crazy Kayla stories because I don't have that many. But I'm a Scorpio and I have that crazy in me though. You know what I mean? Like it's back there. So I was dating a guy. Okay. I was dating a guy and he dumped me through a text message. And he dumped me for this singer/actress who was famous at the time. Dumped me for her. Lied about it for months, then popped out with her, and it became like this public thing, and it was like, oh my God, we love them. Another like celebrity iconic relationship. And of course, little old me, I'm devastated, I'm heartbroken. I had just moved to New York to like be with this person and move in with them. It was a whole thing.
It's not who y'all think.
Yeah, you guys will not be able to figure this out. Or maybe they will, who cares, it doesn't matter. So he breaks up with me, dumps me, moves on. And for Halloween that year, I dressed up as her. I dressed up as that.
Ma'am, I don't know if y'all know, it's not that hard. We put it two and two together because someone found the post from when she dressed up as Halloween. She dressed up as the young lady from, I forget the actual name of the person in the movie, but the Flashdance is the name of the movie, I believe it is.
She dressed Taylor from Kanye West's video.
Yeah, fake.
Well, but I'm saying the original reference is from a movie called Flashdance.
Yeah, nobody cares about that part.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to show that I did research, but okay. Fuck me, but yeah, continue.
So real quick, as a hurt woman, I can see where she was trying to go with this, but really, she just sound crazy. And even if you did do this, you didn't have to tell the world. You could have just kept this to yourself, because it doesn't sound like it sounds more embarrassing to her part. And then also, she also calls. They said they were a little famous. Tiana Taylor was not a little famous. She was a lot famous.
She's way more famous than this young lady, as well as the fact she's been famous since she was doing MTV's My Sweet 16.
Absolutely.
Now, granted, that video that is being referenced in the Halloween post, good Lord, the body was doing all the bodying that he needed to do. Coach of Science, you know, she on the list, right?
Who?
Our list, like mutual people. Tiana Taylor.
No, she already have a list of 5, so
I got a top 10.
That we've never discussed that. So
I'm about to say we have a sports center. The whole thing. I promise you, I can bring out the chart. Should I go get the chart? No? Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm really moving on. Y'all have any thoughts before we move to the next part? Mr. Smith.
Like Coach of Scientist said, I see what you're trying to do. I would have never brought that up to save my damn life. I'm sorry. I'm taking that to the grave. Or I will pull a LeBron or whoever where you can insinuate all you want. I ain't answering shit, because no. Why in the immortal hell would I say for Halloween I dressed up like my ex-boyfriend's current girlfriend? Okay. Who does that? And I know this is not the craziest thing that actually this is the craziest thing she said. There's another thing that we're going to get to shortly. But that is one of those with me, all of us in this pod say every single time, black box, we sinking that to the bottom of the ocean. We are never to speak of this again. I wouldn't be proud about that. And I understand that as a podcast, you're free to express how you feel. Obviously, we've done that multiple times today, including Mac Sauce, which we cannot look at Mac Sauce the same again, thanks to certain people. But that is something where it's like, yeah, you can be honest, but that one you keep in the back. You keep all. Matter of fact, if anybody has watched the movie Inside Out 2, when homegirl pulls that thing down and shoot that thing to the back of your mind, that's where that goes. All the way back there. Just saying.
Quincy, go ahead.
Yeah, it'd be one thing if she was just gonna dress up as Tiana Taylor just to dress up as her, because it was an iconic moment with her in that Kanye West video that year. However, I do have a question. I don't disagree with anything anybody has said thus far, but I do have a question. Is Iman Shumpert the reason she eventually became Travis Kelce's black card?
Wow. Wow.
Well, I mean, you see, when you carry the two, move the money from the checking to the savings, from the savings to the checking, you know what? Maybe.
Although, since they've broken up, we have since declined Travis Kelce's black card, and he is for the whites.
Nigga, we didn't decline that. We ripped that shit up.
When that nigga shaved off all his facial hair and put on that mustache.
Out here looking like Howdy Doody. Looking like a state trooper.
Foreigner.
Looking like stop resisting arrest.
Hey, yo. No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this today. No.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
Looking like he ready to say the N-word with the hard ER.
Wow. looking like he hang out with Nick Bosa and his brother. If
MAGA,
you
MAGA,
know.
move the fuck on, please.
But funny enough, listeners, we're joking because it wasn't even necessary that she was moved on by one particular athlete. She was also moved on by Travis Kelce, and not just Travis Kelce moving on. He didn't move on to a white girl. He moved on to the white girl for some people.
The whitest of white girls?
Yes.
The epitome of white girl, blonde girl, sorority girl, white girl shit.
We're talking about dirty white Air Force
With
Ones.
the ugly ass. No, I like Uggs, but the typical white women with Uggs.
They got on the leggings, no pockets. Got on that infinity scarf. Yeah, I know the person. Yeah, Shawty.
She's like the Britney or like a Karen, but like when they was fine.
She looks like a Stephanie.
Yeah.
But we have some thoughts. Well, we don't have some thoughts, but Mace and Cameron have some thoughts about this. Mrs. Smith, play the clip.
So you guys broke up at that point because
No, this is the question. Do I look like I would go 50-50 on bills?
No.
Okay.
And look at what happened. She called herself flexing and got a bigger flex on her. Now he's with somebody he doesn't have to pay a dime for. So it didn't work. You lost them to somebody with more money that will do 50-50.
Because she says, what do I look like to not be paying? What does somebody look like that doesn't have to pay for 50-50? What does that look like? I don't get it. I don't understand. You look broke? I don't understand what's the look. I don't care how beautiful you are. When I heard that interview, you're ugly. That's just my attitude.
Yeah, your attitude.
You could be the best looking girl in the world, but you're ugly. I didn't even like that answer right there made me say never.
Toxic.
Yeah, I never. Just that attitude.
Wait a minute, Killer. Wait a minute. You might want to regroup.
Bro, I got a picture of her right here. I'm looking at her. I pulled the images up. Because you know why? She's on all these red carpets. And when you scroll down on the images, she's on like the top 10 photos of red carpets. And you just see her going and Taylor Swift on all the red carpets. When I'm scrolling up, she just disappears after a while. No more red carpet, no nothing now. And don't get me wrong, I like pretty. But your attitude, dryness.
So they're basically speaking about how after the breakup with her and Travis Kelce moved on to the, I'll call it what it is, not for us, but for certain people, non-Mac Sauce people, moved on to Taylor Swift. Yes. And I'm going to be honest, I don't care none about their relationship whatsoever. It don't look comfortable. You ever just seen two pieces of paper come together when you try to rub them together? That's what they look like when they kiss, but that's just besides me. I don't know, maybe that's a little harsh. But yeah, no, I find it very interesting because we've talked about relationship stuff, but we don't talk about it often. And I think Mr. Smith brought up this really good point. It's like, if you are trying to find your helpmate and find this person you want to be with, please stop making these type of statements. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Smith. But yeah.
You're correct.
So it's one of those things where it's like, there is a point where you don't have to give up all the information. Like, yes, you can probably get the viral clip. You'll probably get some clicks and some views and people may recognize your name. But it's like, I know for me, and I hopefully I'm speaking for the culture scientists, I don't need everybody to know all my business and all my missteps or my past relationships. Like, don't everybody need to know what happened in the past. Keep that shit in the box. Throw it away. All that shit. Because I can't, again, you couldn't pay me to share these two stories. But again, that's just me. Any other thoughts? Mr. Smith?
So I know that the 50-50 thing in this, I'm going to say this current generation, i.e. Gen Z, Gen Alpha, and maybe a little bit millennial, depending on who you talk to. The 50-50 thing is really like, hey, what do you mean? Right? And I just want to understand, like, when did we become a society where, as Brother X said, you don't want to help your helpmate, right? So I'm looking at an ad right now on my phone from a housing price from the 1973. The housing price is $16,745, right? And I'm talking about that's full. Like you pay that, you're in, no questions asked, right? Houses today, the cheapest one that you probably usually can find in a decent neighborhood probably starts at $400,000 to $500,000. So you mean to tell me in about 50 years, give or take, we've gone up exponentially at least a good 200, 300%, whatever. I don't even know the math, but gone are the days where you can have a one-income household and that could take care of everything. You practically need a two-income household in order to be able to survive, not even flourish, survive. So why is it that there are a lot of people these days that be like, 50-50, and he don't pay all my bills, and he don't do this, and he don't do that? It's like, so then what are you going to do? And it's funny enough, me and Teacher Bae talked about this the other day because we talked about one of the Bumble girls that I had talked about. And you guys know about her because we all had our family chat when I was online dating before I found my person. And this one particular person, which we deemed the Jamaican, said, and I quote, I will never forget, oh, when I get married, I expect my husband to pay all the bills. I said, oh, okay. So for your checks, like, are you going to put it in a savings account for like, investments or things in case the house breaks or whatever? She said, oh, no, my money's going for me. I said, wait, so let me get this right. The man pays all the bills and then you keep your money for your shit. So what does what do you do for him? And she was like, I'm his arm candy. I'm the person that he's going to be happy to be around. I'm like, that does not explain how we're supposed to survive off of mortgage, off of electric, off of internet, because everybody needs internet these days, off of water, off of food, all of that you expect this man to pay and you don't do shit. And I'm actually going to take it there in this specific episode. I'm going to speak for women of certain geographic situations, i.e. Atlanta and Miami and other places like that. Your kitty cat is not sufficient payment after a certain amount of time. Like, it gets old. It is the same as the other 3 or 4 women that ball player has dealt with, hence why he don't stay with you.
Damn.
Calling it what it is.
Yeah. The cootie cat ain't cootie catting. The value ain't where it needs to be, man. The value of the dollar ain't what it used to be. It don't convert over the same way.
Well,
do we have any other thoughts before we move on? Teacher Bae, Queen C, anybody?
Well, I ain't saying she a gold digger.
But she been sucking on some. Never mind. That sauce.
That's extra special sauce.
Wait, say that again, Coach Sanchez.
Did you know that Pharrell is responsible for ba-da-ba-ba-ba?
I actually did, yeah.
I did not. I was so excited in the movie theater. There's a lot of stuff I didn't know about him.
Yeah, because it was the Justin Timberlake song, I'm Loving It, and McDonald's paid big money to have it as their ad. Yeah.
But without further ado, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with our main topic.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you this special message.
You can't sit home. If you're sick as a dog, you say, darling, I gotta make it. Even if you vote and then pass away, it's worth it.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, first of all, you're not gonna speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
All right, so we're going to continue on the series. We're in part 3 of our interview with the host, or a moment with our host. This week, you know it, you love it, and it's the reason why Teacher Bae is on the episode. It is a moment with Mr. Smith. Keep it air horns, all the things, yes. And listen, if you haven't been listening to the series, this is the time where we take a moment to interview our host and get to know them on a deeper level. For those of you who may not know, since we've been doing this podcast a little bit close to 4 years, maybe 5 years, give or take. 4 years. Yes, thank you. So, just like last week, we interviewed the coach of scientists. Go back and run up those numbers. Those stories were very interesting, especially one about Miami. But we're not talking about that today. we're going to go ahead and start off with the first question of who is Mr. Smith?
So, Mr. Smith is a kid from Baltimore, Maryland, who at a very young age really fell in love with technology, computers, was a big video gamer. I'm talking like my first video game system was a Super Nintendo, and it was Super Mario and others, and I just fell in love with gaming. I fell in love with technology, and of course, this is millennial time, so you're talking computers that were, I'm gonna call it the correct term, Macintosh, with floppy disk and organ trail. That is all that we had. No internet, no nothing, just floppy disk, space pinball, organ trail. And as he got older, he decided that this was going to be some type of profession that he was going to do, was going to be in technology. He went to the illustrious Hampton University, the Standard of Excellence, where he got his bachelor's in computer information systems with a minor in business, and was fortunate enough that the government decided to take a chance on him. And since then, he kind of pretty much was looking at it like, I think, if I remember correctly, the thing I used to always tell myself is, all I need to do is get my big toe in the door. When I get my big toe in the door, boy, you ain't gonna be able to get me out. And that was November of 2009. I ain't looked back since. So Mr. Smith is a intriguing character who is really technology based, really fun to be around, a good big brother to pretty much all of his siblings, and a person that just likes to have fun and be reckless from time to time.
How many siblings do you have?
So I have a half brother. We have the same dad, different moms. He is 3 years older than me, who is a great father to my three beautiful nieces. All of them have their own personality. And then outside of that, just have a whole bunch of Hampton siblings. My God, I cannot tell you how many people are my sibling, to the point where a certain ex of mine was like, God damn, how many siblings do you have? I said, all of them.
So who's your favorite little brother?
Not you.
Emotional damage.
You set that one up, man. You know you did.
Oh,
I'm
no,
sorry.
I know. That's fair.
But
I
who's
know
your
what it
favorite
is.
little sister?
You.
Yay.
She's nice to me, and she bought me McDonald's, so unfortunately.
Nigga, I gave you gas money. I've given you gas money on multiple occasions.
Now, but she got me
I bought you
McDonald's.
food.
Now, but she bought me McDonald's 15 years ago, so she wins off rip.
Nigga, off of one McDonald's meal? That's all it takes?
No.
I did it without prompting, though.
Boom!
Really?
It's the
I
principle.
ain't never bought you food before.
I ain't say you never bought me food. Again, what she said was, nigga, I got some money. What do you want?
I have done that for you too.
Yes, depending on the situation, but she was the first one to do it. You were later on down the line.
That ain't even fair, but that's beside the point.
You
All
said
right.
you set yourself up for that one, so I'm sorry.
No, I know what it was. I know how it is. I see what it is. That's fine. Maybe I'll lose some height and then I'll be your favorite. All right. So
Who gave you the right, the permission, the audacity?
If you don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch.
I mean, if you want to fight, we could go outside. What's up?
Ma'am, I will get you 2 steps to make it an even fight.
Look, I keep telling y'all, I'm 61 and a half inches of fluff and fun and fury.
I know.
And
You just gonna be swinging your arms. Just
Okay, Jack and Jill, settle down.
I'm about to say this ain't
You
nothing.
gonna get this falcon punch.
Does it come with mac sauce?
Whoa. Move on. Next. Let's go.
What?
All right. So I guess what are some things in your last 10 years that you become more introspective about?
Well, the first one, which is what everyone on this podcast knows about, was my breakup with my ex, and the fact that I was able to finally like sit back and say like, who am I really? Like the pandemic legitimately took away all the fluff and everything that we dealt with from a time. And when you literally don't have anything but just your bare bones, like what you're dealing with at the time, and you got to answer it, I really sat back and had to think like, all right, who's going to come out of the ashes of this pandemic? So there's that. There's also the travel aspect of things where I've been traveling internationally since 2012. And I think that was like my first chance of being like, holy shit, this is actually fun and I can enjoy myself and I actually have the money to do it. And so that kind of became a thing with me now to where I now know for my mental health, I need to travel at least once a year internationally and all inclusive where I can turn off all of my government stuff and leave all my stuff at home. And I can literally just be, just my fun self. And all the people on this podcast have seen that when we went to Cancun, and Teacher Bae has seen it and went to DR, to the point where even she said at some point she knows in our marriage, we got to go somewhere, even if it's Virginia Beach or whatever, where we got to leave everything at home. Do not talk about work. Do not bring up anything because the stuff that I deal with on a daily basis, nigga. And then outside of that, just falling back in love with the childhoodness of myself, which is gaming. Part of pandemic, I started a gaming project where I took the time to play every single story-based game that I've acquired from the time of 1991 until now. And that thing took me 2 years to complete, which is wild. But that definitely made me go, you know what? I actually fell back in love with it. I have range. I'm not just a 2K person. I don't just play Call of Duty, which funny enough, listeners from our previous episode, you remember that me and Brother X said, the 2K is just leaving now. I don't. I just gave my story, baby. Let me just play my Red Dead Redemption. Just walk with a horse, and I'm fine. Versus getting called all sorts of obscenities in a court where I'm going 5 for 12 because the jump shot is a little bit off. Like, I need my peace. I need my mental health. I need my space. So I'm good. So that's kind of part of the things that has made Mr. Smith who he is.
Okay. Anybody else got any other questions?
Why Teacher Bae?
Why Teacher Bae? Okay. So Teacher Bae, and I've always said this too, I've told her this several times on our dates, and I've said it to other people. Teacher Bae saw something in me before I saw it in myself. When we were in college, and everybody knows Hampton University, you have some women that are like Kayla Nicole. Like, I expect upper echelon. I look like this. And if you're not that, I'm not talking to you. And, who do you think you are? So I didn't have confidence back then. I'm going to be honest. Even Queen C and Teacher Bae have told me multiple times, nigga, you actually are attractive. You just oblivious as fuck. So, and coming from my little sister and my fiance, I'm like, all right, I guess something's here. But, she was the first one to be like, no, like, F all that. Like, I am attracted to you. And she gets on me every single time she can that says, I poured my heart out to you and you rejected me. And I'm like, nigga, I was 20 and I didn't know any better. She will never let me live that down. But from the time that we reconnected, after that swipe right on Hinge and our first date, it was almost like we were back in 2007, 2008. Like, the conversations were just so effortless. It was organic. I mean, I don't even remember the restaurant we were at, but it was to the point where we ate our food, got another drink, we were still talking. And it was just normal. And a little shade here. I could actually have fun with the Black stuff that I couldn't say in other relationships. And Queen C has heard this. One of our conversations that we always joke about is one of our favorite shows is Jamie Foxx show. And we will literally just be sitting around doing absolutely nothing. And out of nowhere, we just go, plain white rice, see high boil. And then we'll just do the whole bit, even up to the point where it says, Jamie, you're losing. You got to do something. What you got to do? You got to go Winers on them, BB or CC, both. So just those small things, or just the fact that like we could get some food and just watch reruns of the Jamie Foxx show. I don't even remember what we watched this past weekend. It was something that was like a classic. And we watched it because we were just having a good time. It was funny.
Not Roll Bounce. What's the other one?
No, we watched we watched another team movie. That's what it was.
Yeah,
but we watched something before that. But we were just quoting everything. We quoted Friday down to the T. What's up, Big Perm? I mean Big Worm. So, like stuff like that where I could be my full self, because Queen C, Culture Scientist, Brother X, Drewski, all of them was like, we see you like you being your full self, what we knew you for in college. You could be yourself. Also, Teacher Bae went to Hampton, so she understands when I see people that are like my big sister, little sister, I can have a 10-minute conversation with them and not get the eyes like I'm about to get my head cut off. So that's also a plus too.
That's real. So, something professionally that you are most proud of.
Professionally that I'm most proud of. I guess I'll say around the time where the pandemic was happening, I got promoted to manager of my team for a technology company. And you're talking about somebody who was in college that really was questioning if they were going to still be like a computer person, because I'm gonna be honest with you people, if you go to school for computer programming, just like anything else, you better love it, because it's going to test the shit out of you. And there was times where I had to doubt myself, like, am I really about this life? But somebody who couldn't know, who really took a long time learning JavaScript, Linux, Bash script, C++, all the programming languages you can think of, literally is now over people's careers and making sure that they do well within the confines, which also a validation that I know what the hell I'm talking about. And this is also coming from somebody who, when it got on the project, I'm gonna keep it a buck, kind of had a little bit of I ain't gonna say racism, but I don't know the word to use, but they kind of like undermined my achievements. Like, oh, you don't know how to work on a system like this. This system's too big for you. I'm like, nigga, the system I just came from is 5 times bigger than this. And I was running. Thank you, belittling. And I'm like, I was running that with one other person, and you're giving us a team of 4. What are you talking about? So I ended up, one of my other biggest accomplishments was rewriting his entire script from one big ass, and my computer people will understand what I'm about to say, one big ass 2,000 line script into 7 60-line scripts. And it only took me a month and a half. As Queen C said, I'm fluffing fun, but I also got some rage in me. And if you try to test me, my nigga, be prepared. I'm coming out swinging. What did Jordan say? And that's all it took. It became personal with me.
Talk your shit, black man. Quincy, go ahead.
So on your recent journey of self-rediscovery, what has been your most favorite discovery of yourself?
Ooh. Damn, that's good. I think my most favorite discovery of myself is that I now know how to sit still and be in peace. There was a time where I always had to be like, I felt I had a bad case of FOMO all the time, because at that point, social media Instagram was buzzing back then, along with Facebook and Snapchat and Twitter, which is now called X, but I'm still call it Twitter. And I don't know, whatever other social media. And you used to always see people out. I live outside of DC, so everybody's out on U Street and Adams Morgan, Park, Opera, rest in peace to Opera, Stadium, rest in peace to Stadium. But I would see all those things, and I would always be like, man, I wish I could go out. Man, I wish I could go out. Like, oh, I wish I had people to do that. Now, there are times where me and Teacher Bae will literally be like, you know what? We can go out for a little bit. What time is it? 9:30. You want to go home? Yeah, let's go ahead and get us something to eat. We can just chill in the house. Or Teacher Bae knows there are times where if I have like a certain face or a certain mood, she's like, let him get on his beanbag, let him play spades or games, and just let him be in his own peace. Especially with the work that I do, and especially with how the political climate has changed from Obama to Mango Mussolini to Biden, and now hopefully to Kamala. I need to be able to disassociate from that because I couldn't do that in my previous time. I used to always hear about it, and that used to always drive me insane. So sometimes, and you all have seen it, I chill in the corner. I ain't gonna say nothing. Give me a blankie and let me just sit there. I'm good.
Fair enough. So I got this off the wall one. I saw this on social media the other day. So what are your thoughts on Juicy Campus?
Oh, rest in peace to Juicy Campus. That was one of the funniest months that I've ever had in college because, boy, they held nothing back. I'm talking this Omega line dropped, and these were all the 8 people that were going to be on it. This girl done slept with 16 guys, and she's burning from this guy, this guy, this guy. This woman is, I was like, yo, y'all have no clue. That was, boy, I was like, if there was a time for me not to be on the website, this would be that time. Please don't let me come up on there. Thank God I did not. But that time, and Teacher Bae was there, so she knows about it too. That was a time. Boy, I was like, I ain't never seen a website get banned so damn fast in my life. I was like, damn, it lasted 2 weeks. It was like, nope, banned.
That's real. That's real. Did you ever feel like you were ever going to end up on Juicy Campus?
Nah. Because at that point, I wasn't really like, I wasn't reckless. I was known for being Mr. Blue Lightning. So at the most they could say is, oh, this dude is acting childish at football games, in which I don't care. I need a stress reliever from the work that we have in school, and partying can only do but so much. And in case y'all understand, this shit is free because it's included with your tuition. So I'm gonna go to every freaking game I can go to. So yeah, I never was worried about that, but boy, did I read them shits every day.
Follow-up question.
Mm-hmm.
Not related, but still college related.
Okay.
Favorite new face party?
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, that's tough. It's a tie between two. The first one was a safe sex party. And that's only because that's the first time I ever saw a Durex belt. Somebody literally taped Durex condom packs to a belt and wore it like they won the championship match of a WWE match. Shit was hilarious. But of course, this is during a time where dancing was actually cool, and you didn't just stand around and be on your phone all day. You're in a section trying to dance for like 15 seconds and you just sitting there bored. Women came with the expectation that I'm gonna dance and get this thing out, and then after that, don't talk to me unless I like you, and then maybe I'll go home with you. But for the most part, the guys was like, look, I'm just here to get twerked on, try to get some numbers, and after that, whatever. So that was kind of a party where it was like, you kind of know what you're going in there for. And if you know like the people that you went to school with, you're like, oh, like I can't tell you how many times I've had little sisters be like, oh, Mrs. Smith is safe. You're dancing with me. I'm just like, free twerk. I'm not mad at this. All right, cool. So that's one, but the other one was the I can't remember the name of it, but it was the homecoming party that Wale, who was still mixtape about nothing, Wale, like he wasn't known yet. He didn't do Ambition, he didn't do More About Nothing. This is still mixtape about nothing. Wale came to the Legion, and I didn't know he was a DJ, so he actually DJ'd that party. He's a really good DJ. The only thing I didn't like was the fact that he played Nike boots like 6 times straight. And I was like, dog, after the second or third time, cut it. But he also is a good roaster. And there's a security guard by the name of Big Rob. Big Rob looks like Ving Rhames in Friday. I mean, not Ving Rhames. Who am I thinking of? Homeboy, that's Debo in Friday. He looked like him, but without the hazel eyes. And when I tell you Wale roasted this man to within an inch of his life for a straight, I mean, unloaded the entire clip on this man. I was dying for like a solid 5 minutes. The shit was funny, but he was actually a dope dude to talk to. He was definitely DC bred or PG Maryland bred. You could hear it in his accent. But overall, I think that was the first time I've ever seen a sea of niggas. And by that, I mean, back then, it was white t-shirts for everybody. And I, of course, was working for New Face back then. And I was on stage. At one point, I just saw people just swaying left to right. And this is before swag surf. And it's just like, I see a sea of white shirts and niggas. I ain't never think I was gonna see that. That is iconic. So that's one of my most iconic college New Face memories for me.
Okay. Quincy, go ahead.
Let's stick with college. And what is your favorite Blue Lightning moment?
Let's see. So it's either going to be Miami. I mean, not Miami, sorry. Daytona Beach or New York. I'm going to go with New York. And that's only because, one, Queen C was fire for sneaking those bottles in to Madison Square Garden. So appreciate that. But just more so like the jokes and camaraderie where everybody was just kind of out there and it wasn't like, like, oh, I'm trying to talk to whatever. It's like, yo, we here to roast the hell out of Howard and have a good game. And then afterwards, everybody just have a good time. And we did.
Yeah, shout out to the one big brother that almost got thrown out of Madison Square Garden.
Oh, damn. I forgot he almost got kicked out. Damn.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll say Madison Square Garden is probably my favorite Blue Lightning moment. Yeah.
You sure it's not One Eye Jack?
Shut the fuck up. That is not my fault. That bus broke down so many times, I can't even keep count.
The wheels on the bus go rolling down the street, rolling down the street, rolling down the street. The wheels on the bus go rolling down the street. All because Mrs. Smith prayed.
I don't like you, yo.
All right. I would be remiss if we didn't give Teacher Bae a moment to ask a question of Mrs. Smith. Do you have a question of Mrs. Smith?
Sure. I have a couple questions.
I'll make them quick.
No. What are you most excited about for our future?
The fact that I found my favorite person who will crack jokes with me when somebody's BBL is not right, or when we are watching a Jamie Foxx show for the 1,000th time and we are quoting every single quote of that show, or better yet, when you literally will tap me on my shoulder and be like, babe, you see her? The hell is wrong with her? You see that ass? I couldn't do that in my previous relationship. So I appreciate the fact that you give me the opportunity to do that. And you actually will do it with me. It's great. But overall, honestly, no, just the fact that I look forward to a future with somebody who has the morals and values where you don't need the big money to have the fun in life. So I'd say that.
Nice. And I want the listeners to know that we do watch more than just Jamie Foxx.
Oh yeah, we watch Insecure, we watch Boondocks. It's just Jamie Foxx is our favorite sitcom.
That is my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I'm about to say, did you want to do one more or are you good?
I mean, you're looking at me. This one's just we can, yeah. What's the biggest lesson you learned about life so far?
Biggest lesson I learned about life?
So far.
Enjoy the small moments.
Bang, bang, bang.
Everybody always thinks about the fact that you're looking for the big prize at the end of your journey instead of looking at all the small victories. So sometimes you have to sit back and be like, let me take inventory of what happened getting up to this point. So for instance, you talked about your weight loss journey, right? And I've been on it with you. I could look at that and say, oh yeah, just like you lost as much weight, I lost 15 pounds or whatever, and we're right there with each other. But I'm also taking note of the small changes. Me walking past the mirror and I'm just like, oh, okay. Okay. This is a problem. I'm so glad I'm off the market because she might be fighting. Ain't no might, you will be fighting. But yeah, just that and that you don't take anything for granted, especially like how we talked about our brother Ade and family members. Like time is not infinite, so take take heed of all the time that you have with your loved ones because you never know when they may not wake up the next day.
Message.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we would be remiss if we didn't ask one burning question that we wanted to know about Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Smith, I know we've talked about card games and different things that has happened over time, and it's gotten kind of wild and out of control. So I would like to know, what is your number one king story?
Okay, I'm in between two. No, I gotta go with that one. That one was wild. Okay, so I was at a excuse me. I was at a friend's house and we were playing Kings. And it was normal, it was, I'd say like 4 to 5 women and I'd say six women, a couple of guys, whatever, cards going around. One of the women gets a king card. And listeners, if you don't know, a king card means you make a rule for the whole table, right? So this woman gets the king card and says, I got one. Girl, go get the brown bag. I was like, what in the world is getting ready to happen? The woman brings back a brown bag and pours out the contents on the table. And it is penis lollipops.
Say what?
Say what?
Say what?
Say what?
Say
What?
Say what?
I said, what in the immortal hell is going on? And they said every time that a guy cusses or says another guy's name, you have to put this in your mouth and we're going to take a picture of it. I said, oh. So one of the guys said, oh, this where we going? You sure you want to do this? Because once you start, there's no ending this train. And she said, I want to do this. She was like, all right, bet. When I tell you for the next 2 passes around when there were no kings, every guy is just knocking on the table, pointing to the next guy, like, play your card or pick up a card, not saying nothing. So one of the guys finally gets a king. Once he gets a king, he says, fuck yeah. The girl's like, you said it, you got to put it in your mouth. He said, oh, F that, that's cool. I don't give a damn. Puts it in his mouth, cracks the shit open and tosses it. He says, now, my turn. Every time that I speak, every woman in here has to take off an article of clothing. I was like, oh, this is about to be bad. And so now, of course, all the guys are synced up like the Wi-Fi. They're just like, oh, we just got to do this. So they was like, hey, such and such, how's the weather going? How's the weather out here? He said, it's hot. And it just stares at all the women like, go ahead. So they start taking clothes off, right? And I mean, granted, we now know, older, more mature, women are smart. They're coming in with jewelry, earrings, bracelets, extra socks, pants, undershirts, cami, all of that.
Unless you have a dog collar. Shut
the hell up. We're not gonna do that. That was the tie. That was the one I was gonna do was the tie. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that to her. So at some point, the next person that got a king was a guy, and he says, I'm gonna keep the same rule and I'm gonna add on to it. Every time I think you gotta take off an article of clothing, I said, damn, that is rough. So then, of course, the guys are being assholes. Hey, such and such, what's 25 times 5? Dude would just look up and say, And it was like, he's thinking. So needless to say, I saw a good amount of areola and nipple that night. Underwear was still on for majority of them. One of them literally said, and I quote, I cannot take these off. And they said, why? And she said, because my cycle just started. They was like, oh, you can keep that on. We don't need that. So then we get to the last king. And the guy says, I'm going to keep all of this because all of y'all pretty much naked. And now we're going to be at the piece de resistance. Every time a red card is played, the women have to take a penis lollipop, put it in their mouth, and we're going to take a picture of them holding up double peace signs while it's sticking out, and they ain't got no clothes on. Mind you, I'm intoxicated on the couch. I stopped playing, a while back. And so I'm just looking like, this shit is really happening. And bravo to those women, because I thought they were going to quit. They were like, all right, we gonna do it. We gonna do it. And they ain't give not near a damn about it. So don't ask me where those pictures are. I didn't take said pictures. I was in the corner and on the couch, just chilling. I was a little too drunk at that point, so I was like, let me just ease back. But yeah, at a certain point, the last king was that, and then when the game was over, he was like, the host was like, I got one more final king. He pointed at one girl and he was like, you have to do what's on that lollipop to me right now.
Holy schmoly!
They went into the closets, yeah. And I was like, this is college. this is college. I done seen nipples. I done seen penis lollipops. Some girls on her cycle and somebody got hit in the closet. Good times.
And we are all college educated now.
Nice and mature. Those were good. What do those people say? Oh, that was back in my early days.
Yes. We would never do that as adults.
We won't, but we'll watch.
Hey.
You mean adults in our 30s?
Yes. Hey, crazy things are happening, man. But we've been on this pod for quite some time now, so I think it's time we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. Transparent moments. Don't get the mac sauce unless you see them put it on the sandwich. Stay away from playing kings. It is a safe space to learn how to play spades. And nothing but love to Mrs. Smith, man. It's been 10 plus years of fellowship and brotherhood. Got nothing but love for you. Look forward to future things with you and Teacher Bae and my toast at your wedding.
Just remember, my dad, my mom, her dad, her uncle, and her brother-in-law be there. Tread carefully.
Why would I ever say anything too outrageous at your wedding? Other places, podcasts, yes. But you wouldn't know. I would never do that.
Listeners, you're not seeing this, but both me and Queen C did eye rolls. So yeah, all right. You say so.
So when I'm serious and I give a real speech, don't I say it from the heart though?
You do. I'll give you that. You do give a speech from the heart. So I will agree with that.
I'm about to say. But listeners, you may just have to tune in for a far future episode to hear about that. But if you want to hit us up on our social media, you can always hit us up at the TNT Pod 123 on Twitter. Hit us up on Truth and Transparency Pod on Instagram, Truth and Transparency Pod on TikTok, the Truth and Transparency Podcast on Facebook, the Truth and Transparency Podcast on YouTube. And you can always email us your thoughts, opinions, and why you don't like Mac Sauce at truthandtransparencypod123@gmail.com. For the coach and scientist, for Mrs. Smith, for Queen C, Mrs. Smith, and Teacher Bae, and all of our fans and supporters. If this podcast gets no bigger than what it is right now, they are forever grateful. We are forever grateful. In the immortal words of my father, eat the elephant one bite at a time. Peace.
Listen here. Stay away from the penis lollipops. Stay away from the king's nakedness.
But wait! There's more! Hang on to your seat, baby! Cause this one's a screamer!
Sorry, listeners, we had to come back real quick. We had to get one more question in that we forgot to ask about. Mr. Smith, I believe there was this rumor that I heard about a chicken head, a referee whistle, and some referee. Is there any truth to this? Can you speak to that story?
And some baby oil.
Yes.
No Diddy.
Oh wow. So we played Kings. I think this was either right before or right after a wedding, and a certain person who's not on this podcast, who will not be named, got the question: if you had to pick a woman to have a threesome with, who would you pick and what would you bring to the threesome? And the woman picked somebody that we all went on a trip on. We all have been on a trip with, and said, I would get her and I would bring a chicken head costume, a referee whistle, and some baby oil. And Queen C, literally the first thing she said was, baby oil? Oh, this is what we doing. And everybody looked at me like, so I was like, I'm taking notes right now. And she was just like, no, it was just a joke. It was just a joke. We said, nah, that was deliberate. It's one thing to joke about it, but you put some thought to this. So that person will forever deny it, but it's like, nah, nigga, you wanted a threesome with somebody with a chicken head and some baby oil and a referee whistle.
Oh, that shit Popeyes.
Wow.